Imagine a world without rules, a planet where the laws of nature were written not in blood, but in brute force. For 99% of Earth's history, we were not the masters. They were. We know their names, but we cannot comprehend their scale. The oceans were ruled by bus-sized sharks with jaws that could crush steel. The jungles were hunted by snakes the size of a bus, and the skies were dark with wings wider than a small plane. Not a fantasy, a forgotten, terrifying reality. They were the apex, invincible, until the planet itself turned against them. A flash of lightning, a crushing wall of ice, or a slowly encroaching starvation. They didn't just go extinct, they vanished, leaving behind only echoes and bones. Today, we are bringing them back to life. Witness the raw power of nature's lost giants. This is Extinct Earth.
Our planet, a vibrant tapestry of life, has witnessed countless stories unfold over millions of years. But some of its most magnificent chapters have been lost to time. We remember them as legends, colossal beings that roamed a world vastly different from our own. From the icy steppes to tropical islands, these creatures carved their existence into the very fabric of Earth's history. But as the world changed, they vanished, leaving behind only whispers and fossilized remains. Today, we journey back in time to meet three of these giants: the woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, and the dodo. We will walk in their footsteps, witness their power and grace, and uncover the heartbreaking story of how they were lost forever. This is their story, a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and our responsibility to protect the wonders that still remain. Imagine a world draped in ice. The Pleistocene epoch, a time of colossal glaciers and biting winds. Here, across the vast frozen tundra known as the Mammoth Steppe, lived a true icon of the Ice Age, the woolly mammoth. These were not just animals, they were titans, standing over 10 feet tall at the shoulder, their bodies wrapped in a thick, shaggy coat of hair to brave the relentless cold. Beneath this fur, a thick layer of fat provided extra insulation. Their enormous curved tusks, sometimes stretching over 15 feet long, were incredible tools. They used them to sweep away snow to find the sparse vegetation beneath, to defend their young from predators, and in epic battles between males for dominance. They were highly social creatures, living in herds led by a wise matriarch, much like modern elephants. These family groups would migrate across immense distances, a constant search for food in a barren landscape. We can picture the calves, clumsy and playful, sticking close to their mother's massive legs for warmth and protection. The herd's bond was its strength, a collective defense against the dangers of their world. But their world was changing. The climate began to warm, the great ice sheets retreated, and the vast grasslands they depended on shrank, replaced by forests and wetlands. This environmental shift was the first major one. Alongside this, a new, intelligent predator was rising: early humans. Our ancestors, armed with cunning and sophisticated hunting techniques, saw the mammoths as a vital resource. They hunted them for their meat, used their bones and tusks to build shelters and craft tools, and painted their likeness on cave walls, a testament to their importance. Was it the changing climate or human pressure that sealed their fate? Most scientists believe it was a devastating combination of both. Cornered by a warming world and relentlessly pursued by hunters, the reign of the woolly mammoth slowly came to an end. The last isolated populations clung to survival on remote Arctic islands, but eventually they too vanished, leaving only their mighty bones buried in the frozen earth. Now, let's travel to the grasslands and forests of the Americas during the same Pleistocene era. A different giant ruled here, not by size, but by sheer predatory power. This was the domain of Smilodon, the saber-toothed tiger. Despite its name, it wasn't a true tiger. It was a unique and fearsome predator, a powerfully built cat with a bobtail and short, muscular limbs. It was built like a bear, designed for ambush and overwhelming force, not for long-distance chases. And then, there were the teeth. its iconic teeth like daggers, up to 7 inches long, serrated and terrifyingly sharp. These weren't for show. They were specialized killing tools, but how did it use them without breaking them? The saber-tooth had an incredible ability to open its jaw to an angle of 120 degrees, far wider than any modern cat. It would use its immense upper body strength to wrestle large prey like bison, horses, and even young mammoths to the ground. Once the animal was pinned, it would deliver a precise, powerful bite to the soft throat, severing major blood vessels and ending the struggle quickly. It was the apex predator of its time, a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. Fossil discoveries at places like the La Brea tar pits in Los Angeles show thousands of saber-toothed skeletons, suggesting they may have hunted in social groups, like lions, cooperating to bring down massive prey. But like the mammoth, its specialization was weakness. As the Ice Age ended, the climate changed, and the large herbivores it depended on began to disappear. Smaller, faster animals like deer started to dominate the landscape. The saber-tooth's stocky, powerful build was ill-suited for chasing these nimble creatures. It was outcompeted by more agile predators like dire wolves and the ancestors of modern jaguars. Unable to adapt to a new menu and a new style of hunting, the saber-toothed tiger, this formidable hunter, starved into extinction. Its terrifying roar faded from the Americas, leaving behind only its iconic, blade-like teeth as a memory of its power. Our final journey takes us forward in time, to a much more recent era, and to a world away from the ice and savanna. We arrive on the lush, isolated island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean, a paradise untouched by humans until the 16th century. Here lived a creature of myth and curiosity, the dodo. Far from the clumsy, foolish bird of cartoons, the dodo was perfectly adapted to its environment. A large, flightless bird, related to pigeons, it stood about 3 feet tall and weighed around 40 pounds. With no natural predators on the island, it had no need to fly. It nested on the ground and lived a peaceful existence, foraging on the forest floor for fallen fruits, seeds, and nuts. Its large, hooked beak was perfect for cracking open the tough shells of the native plants. For thousands of years, the dodo thrived in this island sanctuary, a gentle giant in its own world. Then, everything changed. In 1598, Dutch sailors landed on Mauritius. For the dodo, which had never known fear, these new arrivals were just a curiosity. The birds were unafraid, making them incredibly easy for the sailors to hunt for food.
All right, go on then.
But direct hunting wasn't the main
Look at
killer.
you two.
The real devastation came from what the ships brought with them. Invasive species like rats, pigs, and monkeys, which escaped from the ships, wreaked havoc on the island's ecosystem. They ate the dodo's eggs from their vulnerable ground nests, destroying the next generation before it could even hatch. The sailors' livestock trampled the undergrowth, and deforestation destroyed the dodo's habitat and food source. The peaceful bird was caught in a perfect storm of destruction. In less than a century after its discovery by humans, the dodo was completely wiped out. The last confirmed sighting was in 1662. It happened so fast that for a time, some even doubted the dodo ever existed at all, believing it to be a sailor's tall tale. The dodo became the poster child for extinction, a tragic symbol of the devastating and rapid impact humans can have on a fragile ecosystem. The woolly mammoth, the saber-toothed tiger, and the dodo. 3 different creatures from 3 different worlds, all sharing the same fate. The mammoth succumbed to a changing climate and human pressure. The saber-tooth, a master hunter, was too specialized to survive when its prey disappeared. The dodo, a peaceful islander, was erased in the blink of an eye by invasive species and habitat destruction brought by humans. Their stories are not just tales from a distant past. They are urgent warnings. The same forces that drove them to extinction, climate change, habitat loss, and the impact of human activity are threatening countless species today. From the polar bear in the melting Arctic to the tiger in the shrinking forests of Asia. We are living through another great extinction event, but this time we are the primary cause. And this time, we have the knowledge and the power to change the outcome. By remembering these lost giants, we are reminded of our profound responsibility to be better stewards of our planet. We must act now to protect the magnificent creatures we still have, to ensure their stories don't end in the same tragic silence. Let's work together to make sure that in the future, the wonders of our world are seen in the wild, not just in museums. Thanks for watching, and if you found this journey meaningful, please subscribe for more stories about our incredible planet.